Hi, welcome to your front desk training guide with Core Practice. My name is Warren, and I'll be happy to take you through some of the training for today. It's going to take approximately 30 minutes to cover, and here are some of the major areas that we'll be covering off for today. So you'll know how to navigate through your appointment book, creating appointments, even canceling those appointments as well, and using our SMS features and communication tools. You'll also know how to go through the patient profile, how to add in health funds, how to add any sort of medical histories. Then we'll finish it off with some billing, which is all your invoicing and claiming. So just bear with me. I'm just going to change my screen real quick, and you'll be able to see Core Practice in just a moment. And here we go. So what you'll be able to see is just a very quick tour. On the top left-hand side, you've got your appointment book in here. You've also got patient, which is where you'll search for a patient. You can use any of these fields in here. So say, for example, we can search up Warren. And there you go. You can see all the Warrens in there. Otherwise, you can just type in some of the other fields in there and we'll find it for you. You might not have access to some of these other buttons on here, depending on your permission settings, but we won't be covering off some of these other buttons here for today. Those are part of some other training sessions that we've got going on. Then on the top right-hand side, you do have a search button, or a search bar, sorry, where you can type in any names or anything like that to find patients really quickly in Core Practice. Okay, you've also got the little cog if you've got access to that, which is all the administrative training. And you've also got a little help button up here, but you can always find that little help button at the very bottom left here, which gives you access to all of the guides within Core Practice. So everything I'm going to teach you today can be found in there. So say, for example, if you want to find out, how to make an appointment, or you want to find out some of the basics that we've got in there, you can easily click on Appointment Basics there. You'll have videos as well as step-by-step walkthroughs with pictures and all that kind of stuff to walk you through it step by step. All right. So let's get into it. Our appointment book can be found here at the very top left. So we'll go into the appointment book. And you'll have two different views in here. So you've got the book view, which will show you that particular dentist. Okay, and you can see we can filter to a dentist that we want to look at as well. So I can have a look at Mark's and his appointment book. I can also have a look at Tarky's, as well as, if you want to have a notes column for your team, you can always have a notes column. Otherwise, we can always just have a look at myself for today. You've also got a location view, which I think most of you are probably a little bit more accustomed with, depending on which system you're coming across from or had experience with. So you can see here, I've got my location view, which shows me everybody that's working here at that location for that particular day that you're on. Okay, so you will be able to see the date. Okay, so that's the day that you're currently looking at. You can always click on today to have a look at who's the calendar for today. You can then use these arrows, which will take you to a day later or a week later. And then you got +3, +6, and +12 to go +12 months as an example. You've also got a calendar button to go to a particular date. So if a patient is calling you up and you want to find a particular time or a day, use the calendar button and just find that date. Otherwise, when you're on the book view, and we're coming back to this view, and I'll predominantly be on this view for today, the one arrow will take you to a week because you're on a week view here, just like that. Okay, and then the double arrow will take you to a month later down the track. Okay. Now, in Core Practice, we do have, we always have a guide on the right-hand side to help you to create new appointments or find existing patients to create appointments for them. And you can see it just guides you through it step by step. You don't have to use the exact same way. You can always select a time and then go backwards if you'd really like to. So up to you. So let's go ahead today and just create a fresh patient just to show you what it looks like. So we select a patient first, and you can see that it's going to help you to find an existing patient first. Otherwise, you can always click on new patient here, and this is where we can add in some new patients. So let's just call this one Tess McCavity here. And then it's going to ask us to put in a phone number. So the mandatory fields are first name, last name, mobile number or home phone number. And we do always suggest that you get an email address because of the automated emails that get sent out through Core Practice. Okay, so if you've got some time to do that, it's always suggested that you would do that there. As part of that email, we will be showing you how to customize that email as part of the admin training. but it has a Google Map URL, it has a calendar link, so it is going to be very beneficial for you guys. Now you can set up categories for people, so you can use the category section for whatever you'd like. This will help you with marketing later on, so you can market to specific categories like VIP patients or regular, up to you. You can always put in a referral contact in here as well, okay, if you've got any of them. Otherwise, you can always put some additional referral notes in here if you've got any. But let's just go ahead and create this patient for now, since we've got all the mandatory areas. And then we're going to select a time. So we'll just say maybe Tess McCavity is going to come in on Sunday with us at 9 a.m. So we select that time. And then we select a reason for why they're coming in. And all of these are customizable by you guys once again. So we'll just create that time. And then we can select a status. So, if they're a cash patient, or maybe, say, for example, they've got some lab work that's needed, you can select as many statuses as you like. And then we can go ahead in here and just add some additional notes. So maybe the patient said they're in a little bit of pain. Mouth. And then we just create the appointment. And cool, so we've created our first appointment. So the only thing that you need to do from here is we can drag it around if we need to make some very quick adjustments. Now, as a little tip here, if you're dragging the appointment around, there's no updated email that's going to be sent out unless you click on the appointment, click on more, and then you can send them an appointment reminder through email if you'd really like to. So you can see here, email appointment details. If you grab their email, you'll be able to send that out. Otherwise, if you want to do the more official way of rescheduling, you can see at the moment, if I drag it around, I can only drag it around the screen that I'm in right now. So if you wanted to drag it around to, say, for example, next week, you wouldn't be able to do that. So the only way you can do that is you click on the appointment, click on reschedule, and then you can flip to the next week, and then you can pop that that patient into their next reschedule time. So you can see here at the very bottom right, it's asking you to reschedule. Just hit that button. And now you can see that we've rescheduled the patient for next week. Now, the cool thing about doing it this way is that we do keep track of how many times that patient has rescheduled with you as well. So you'll be able to see that on there. Okay. So now that we've got this patient in the system, we do send out our appointment reminders 48 hours beforehand. If you make an appointment within that 48-hour bracket, let's just say they're going to come in tomorrow, they're not going to get an appointment reminder from you. So if you do want to send them an appointment reminder, you can always click on more here, and then you can click on SMS appointment reminder, and then you can send this patient an appointment reminder. So we'll just hit send now. And you will be able to see that there is a little speech bubble in here to let you know that an SMS was sent. And I just got that text message, so I can reply back to that real quick. And then I'll just hit refresh in just a moment. And now you can see that it turns green and with a little tick to let you know that they've confirmed. So how about, say, for example, if the patient replies with something else, like a reschedule, please. We do catch those kind of things in here. So let me just refresh it again. So you will be able to see a little apostrophe on there to let you know that a patient has sent something in. So that's your cue to go back into the appointment, click on more, and click on SMS chat. And you will be able to see their message in here where you'll be able to reply back to them. You can hit send. I'll send that away. You can always use templates as well. All of these templates will be done through the admin training. So if you need to make any adjustments, please organize that with your administrator or whoever's got access to do those sort of things for you. Cool. So now that we've got that in there, we can do a few extra things on here. So say, for example, if you have access to our online medical history forms, you will be able to use these forms and send it out to the patient. So we can click on more here, complete a new form, and then I can either cast the form to an iPad if you've got that set up. So if I cast the form, it'll send out a little code, which you will just put onto the iPad to sign in. Otherwise, the best suggested route is we can go back to more, go complete a new form, and you'll see the 3 dots in here once again. You can email the form to the patient, SMS it to them, or you can even print it out for them as well. So if you SMS it to them, you'll see that it's an automatically generated SMS. You can always change this up if you need to, but we'll just hit send now, and now that patient will have access to that online medical history form to complete from home. All right. So now that we've got this in here, I'm just going to quickly show you what it looks like to cancel your appointments and to unconfirm them and all of that. So let's just cancel this appointment for today. All right, so you can see that at the moment we've got two different choices in here, but there's actually three. So if you don't choose one, that's fine. If you choose unable to attend, it'll be a UTA, of course. And then you've also got failed to attend, which will be a permanent red marker on that patient's account, and we cannot reverse it for you. So just be careful. Just choose whichever one you want, and just put some notes in here so at least the next person will know. And just cancel the appointment. Cool. So even though that patient has been cancelled, you still can click on the button up here, show cancelled, to show any of these appointments in there that have cancelled. So you'll be able to always look back onto that if you need to. You can always click back onto it as well and just see any details about the patient. So up to you. Just cancel that for now. And let's just go back to today. So this is our appointment so far. Appointment book for today. So you can see that we've got Thor Odinson waiting in the chair doing some treatment with myself, Warren Yap. So now you can always just see where the patient is at in terms of their attendance. So you can see that they arrived a couple minutes ago. They've also checked in, so they're a little bit late, but it looks like maybe they're going to finish up soon. Then let's just say, for example, Jamie over here, he's going to let's just say he's already confirmed his appointment, which should have been done. We can mark their arrival. So let's just say Jamie came in a couple minutes early. We mark his arrival, and you will be able to see a little pop-up here for your dentist. So they will get that notification in their room. And you can see there's a red clock in here to let you know that the patient's waiting in the waiting room. Then we can check them in afterwards after we check out Thor Odinson. Alrighty. So before I move on with the next steps and taking you through the patient profile and all of that, I do want to show you some more little tips and tricks in here. So in case you need to have a little break or you want to set up some little meetings for your team, you can always click on Insert Break here, select a time, and then put a title for it. So let's just say, for example, sales rep coming in at 12 p.m. to meet with Warren. You can choose a type for it. You can choose a couple different colors depending on how you wanted to do it. So we see a few clinics color coding it. So purple means it's to do, and you can change the color to green when it's ready or done. And just save. Cool. And there you go. You can see that little break in there for you now. Otherwise, you've also got a wait list in here where you can add people to a wait list. So you can see there's a little plus button to add somebody into here. So let's just say we're going to do it for Tess McCavity, who canceled their appointment. You can put a remove date just to keep your wait list list clean. You can always choose from a location as well if you've got multiple locations. You can even choose a calendar, so a dentist that they want to predominantly see. You can also choose a reason for why they're coming in. So this reason will be a checkup, scale, and clean. What is their best availability? So we can say maybe Saturdays and Sundays for this patient. We can put a priority on them. So I'll just keep this one as normal. And then you can say, do they want to do 24-hour notice or contact outside of business hours, and just put any notes. A little funny. Doesn't really answer phone well. So at least you've got the notes for the next person. Then we just add to the wait list. And you can see our wait list is all in here. So let's just say, for example, you had a cancellation on Saturday or Sunday, and you want to find some patients that are willing to come in at those times or those dates. You can easily select a patient from here if you want to select a particular patient, select a particular calendar or a location if you like to. Otherwise, we can just say everybody who's available on Saturday and Sunday, I want them to come in. So we'll hit search, and you can see out of that list there, we've only got Tess McCavity that came up. And you can see that he's available on Saturday, Sunday. Here's a little note that we created, and then we just select this patient. Okay, and then that's when it's going to take you through that process once again. All right. Cool. So now let's just say we've gone through those tips and tricks. So what is it like now to go through a patient file? So let's just say Jamie came in. We're going to go ahead now and go through to his patient file. Okay, so now that we've got his file in here, and you can see that it's a little bit bare. So we've got his details in here, if we've got them in there. We've also got details. Okay, so details is where you can change their contact details. So we can change his mobile number. We can also change his email address. Put an address in there if we have one. So I'll just say 1 Market Street, Sydney. Oh, domestic port. We'll put him there. And we'll just save the changes there. Okay, so now that you can see that it's updated on there. Even for things like adding people into a family, we can easily add this person in. So we can click on plus button here. And then we can add a family member into this. So maybe we can have a look at, say, for example, Thor. Oh, we don't have Thor in there. Oh, we got Thor. And cool. Now we can see that in here. So we can add Thor into that. Select a family role for them. Let's just say Thor's the child. We just add the family member there. And now you can see the family patient card's been created. And you can easily navigate to these patient files as well by clicking on their name. Otherwise, if you need to change their medical history, you can easily go in here and change their medical history. Okay. So you can see here, you've got a couple different ones to choose from. You can always update this list and change it according to your liking as well. Otherwise, if you can't find your conditions, you can always add into the other section. So let's just show you what that looks like. Hit Save Changes. And you can see that it turns up here at the very top for you now. Okay. Now we've got health fund if you need to add a health fund in here. So we click on the plus button, add a health fund in. If you can't find your health fund card or health fund name on there, you can always add it in as well. And that's part of the admin training. Just put it in a series number and add the fund. Okay, so now obviously if you had an online medical history form, all of those details that the patient has submitted will be automatically updated in core practice. But that's more so as part of the clinical training, which will come afterwards in another video. So if you'd like to find out a bit more about how to approve those, please look for that video as well. Okay, but for now, you will be able to see at the very bottom, this is what we call the activity section. So the activity section is basically a compilation or a timeline of everything that has happened to that patient. So things like your treatment notes and item codes that you've done for that patient. What I'll do is I might show you somebody who's got a bit more data in there so you can visualize what it looks like. So we'll find myself. And here you go. So you can see I've got some alerts on my patient account card as well. So I'll show you how to do that today. If I scroll down to the bottom, this is the activity section. So you can see which dentist or hygienist or oral health therapist has worked on that patient, at what location. You'll be able to see the note if there is a note, and you can see the date and the exact time for when that note was created. You've also got a comment section, which is completely separate to everything. Use this part to keep track of that patient, any sort of like relationship notes. Did they go on holiday? Did they love dogs? That kind of stuff. All of that can be in here, and you can always click on comment and click here to add a new comment. And add that comment in here, and you'll be able to see that on here. Any changes in their medical history will turn up here too. Any media files and x-rays and all of that, as well as any attachments and any forms that the patient has completed that you can easily pull up and have a look at. So you can see that we completed this form quite a while back. Cool. So let's go back to Jamie's account here. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to show you how to create an alert for that patient, like how you saw in my patient file. So you'll click on the patient's name up here, and you will have access to a whole bunch of other things like your SMS chat, sending an email directly to the patient from core practice. You can do all those things. But the main thing that you can take away from this little list here is the patient's alerts. So that little pop-up in there that you can use for whatever you'd like. You can click it to add alert or click on the plus button. select a category. So you can customize all these categories in here, but if you can't find the one that you want, just use the other one. And obviously you can use this about patient behavior. So you can say patient is a little nervous. Careful. All right, so you can set a start date for it. You can also put an end date, but of course, if you don't put an end date in there, it's just gonna happen infinitely for you. So we hit save changes. And then that's it. So let's refresh that page to show you what it looks like with everything combined. So you can see the patient behavior little pop-up, and you can see all the allergies and medical conditions that we put onto the patient's card as well. And obviously you can see the timestamp when we changed the medical history for them as well. All right. So now let's head back to the appointment book and let's just finish up that flow. So let's just say, all right, cool. So Thor came out to the front now. He was ready to go. And the dentist has already put in all of the item codes for you. So what do? One thing is we'll click on the patient's appointment and you can see here a little button called Create Invoice. This is to check out the patient and to start the payment process. If the patient hasn't submitted any sort of like, if the dentist hasn't put in any item codes, we'll be able to catch that as well. So just click on this button first and it'll check out that patient and start the payment. And you can see here, we can also send the patient a thank you email if you'd like to. So we can send that. And I'll send that to them too. And here we go. So we've got a few item codes in here for Thor, just to check up scale and clean by the looks of it. So what we're going to do is we can click on Create Invoice here to start the payment process. But if you need to add any more item codes into this, we can easily add them from here. So first of all, we'll select a fund. All right, so you can add a fund if the patient doesn't already have one. So let's just say they've got Bupa. Put a card series number on that and just add the fund. And cool. So now we can also select a fee level that's right for the patient. We'll just hit submit and start treatment here. And now you'll see that you have access to a couple different item codes. So let's just say we're going to put in an 022. And maybe we'll do that twice. We took 2 x-rays. And now you can see that it's all added in here. And you can also see that it's not invoiced and it's for the right date as well. So all we're going to do is, since we've added in a few more item codes, just click on done in case you need to add some more one in there. Okay, you can also set a recall if you need to, but we have another section on recalls for later on. So don't worry about that for now. And close. And we'll just create invoice. As you can see, it walks you through it step by step. So one, we're going to check to make sure everything on the invoice is correct. Then we're going to move on with the claim. And cool. So what you can see in here is we've set up 2 different providers for this patient, just in case you've got 2 people working on that patient. So, you know, if they're doing like a hygienist as well as working with a dentist, we can do multiple providers on the same invoice. Now, from your side, while you're doing all of the claiming, this is a claim stage, of course, you will have 2 buttons on here, one for the HiCaps machine and one for our MediPass integration. And you can see right now, both of them are currently unavailable for us today. So if you need to manual punch it into the HiCaps machine or MediPass, you still can. But otherwise, let's just continue for now. So you just click on the button. It will send it all to the HiCaps machine. Or if you're using MediPass, you click on the button and then it'll send the patient a text message to do the health fund claim and the gap payment online through their phone. Then we continue to payment. And this is where we can take the gap payment for today. You can see the date, the provider that worked on us for today, as well as you can see the different the members. So if you've got like a family invoice in there, you'll be able to see that all for today. And you can see the total amount due. So let's just say, for example, the HiCaps machine and us weren't talking for today. You can always click on the external button and then log a manual claim. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to put HiCaps in there. And then let's just say HiCaps gave us $150 to work with, and we just record that payment. Now you will see that it's less HiCaps in here. All right. So we can go back to other methods, and let's just say, for example, we were going to discount the individual items. So let's say, for example, the x-rays, we're going to make that gap free, whereas everything else, we're going to charge the gap. So one thing is you can just add in an overall discount if you'd like to. So let's just say we got a $40 discount. And you can see there's a line for discount. And that'll just be an overall blanket discount across all the different items. But if you want to discount the individual items, like how we are going to do it today with the 022s, we can click on discount here, and then we can easily change the balance or the discount levels here. So you can see with the balance left over, it's looking for $16.90. Oops, and 90 cents. And then we just hit save, and now you can see the discount has been applied, and we have a balance left over of $106.20. If you click on FPOS, it's going to go straight to the FPOS machine. If they want to pay through other means like Apple Pay and Google Pay, you can always use MediPass as well as a solution for that. Otherwise, if they're just going to pay through cash, like how we're going to do it today, we can just click on cash here. Cool. So now that we've got that in there and the balance due is $0, we can email this to the patient as an invoice. So I'm going to do that for you today. And we send that off. Otherwise, you've got the print button where you will be able to see a printout version of the invoice where you have your logo at the top and your directions or whatever it is. You can even put bank details in there as well if you'd like to. Otherwise, we do have both providers on there as well in case you need that sort of thing. Otherwise, once we hit done, everything is in here for you. So let's just say, for example, we made mistakes today. We can easily reverse any of the things that we have done. So there are three main things that you need to consider. So one is if you made a mistake with the payment, we can reverse payments. If you've made a mistake with the overall invoice and the items that are in there or something like that, then we can always void the invoice as well and start from the beginning and add those item codes in. Otherwise, the third step is maybe all of the item codes are wrong and you're just playing around with it. Then we can reverse all of that too. So the first step is we're going to reverse the payments. Okay, and you can see we're on the payment tab here. And then we go to invoice, and then now you will be able to see the total invoice is overdue. Then you can click on the little cog here, void that invoice, and you can see that it's gone. And then once we hit on treatment, you will see all of your item codes in here. You can see it's not invoiced anymore. And if you need to void them, we can easily void them from here. Great. And now that they're all gone, we can go back to our appointment book just to show you everything then again. And now you will be able to see that Thor Odinson was already checked out because we clicked on that create invoice button. And now let's just say we're going to check in the next patient and we'll check in Jamie Yu. All right, now you can see it turns orange. All right. Thank you so much for spending a bit of your time with me. That was a little brief snapshot and in about 30 minutes or less for you guys. If you've got any questions, please reach out to your local sales rep or your support team here. Otherwise, just use the help button. There's more than enough help on there as well to guide you through everything that we've done for today. But once again, thank you so much for sticking around and look forward to another training session with all of you. Thank you very much. Take care.